Yo, what is up, guys? This is Mio, and we are here today with the Hive Mega Beedrill Best and Worst Week 1. So, I've already done the Kakuna video, and this is the Mega Beedrill video. Currently, Beedrill and Weedle are not done with all of their games. There's still one left from each one. So I'm just gonna go, whichever league has the games done, I'm gonna do it. So let's hop right in. So, you know how this works. I do the 3 worst, 3 best plays from each league every week. So here we go. So the third worst play in my opinion of this week was here in Joel versus TC, where Joel basically just kind of let his Embor, this big wall breaker here, go down a little bit too early. Like, this was a air balloon Embor, which at this point had broken, so that was good for beating Mammothswine. But the thing is, this is like the main thing on this team that really dominates that Registeel, which otherwise is a huge, just huge waste of resources. Like, Thunderous has to be wasted on it to Focus Blast, or Nidoqueen has to get some damage from Earthquake from it. Just Embor is really good at taking that on. So really what happened here was that, okay, it wasn't broken yet, but what happened here was he just wasted all his health on this Mandibuzz with Rocky Helmet, and it was just faster, foul played him, and then he just wasted like all that health right away, and that Embor turned into a sack instead of a tool that he could use to later on try and beat the Registeel, or try and maybe even beat the Mammothswine, which he really needed it for this whole game here, because without it he just kind of ended up losing once he got whittled down enough. So Registeel just was a huge problem in this game that Embor could have handled, but I think that was just the main play there that was wrong. So for the second worst play this week, we have Jake versus Techno. So Jake even realizes this mistake himself. Like, this is a mistake that people make, but what it is that he got his Yapapa berry or Figgy berry knocked off by Conkeldurr. So basically how it went down here. So Jake curses, he still has his Figgy, he doesn't have a Figgy berry at this point. So, and now with an Ice Punch, I believe he freezes this Conkeldurr, so he gets to recycle off. So instead of killing the Conk or anything, he sets up again. And instead of he recycles his Figgy berry instead of attacking again, so he could get his Figgy berry the next turn when he's below 50%. So he just loses all of his ability to recover health back. So that put him in a really bad spot, and meant that he couldn't take on this Conkeldurr anymore, and Conkeldurr was just slowly able to whittle him down with Drain Punches. So that was a really unfortunate misplay there, but that would earn the second worst play of this week, because that just completely lost him this rather even game at this point. Late in the game, just a bad misplay. And so for this next one, I'm going to actually have to switch to my another scene, because it is on a different replay engine. So I'll switch to this one. So we have Legion Flames versus Hycatoad, and now basically the play in this one I'll have to get to in a bit. So here, Hycatoad has this great Scarf Magnezone that just dominates through Legion, beats that Lycanroc. So Hiker just has this great game going right now, where Hiker has all the upper hands that he could want. He just dominates as Legion gets way too greedy with the setup here. Legion is just not doing too well. He's down 2 already. And so here with Magnezone again. Magnezone is really key for this game. So Magnezone gets this HP crash on the Gastrodon. That was hot. But the main issue here is that Medicham gets this Rocky Helmet damage, all this Rocky Helmet damage on it. And here is the big misplay. The John forfeits to Hiker. That is the biggest L I've seen in my life. The fucking Mega Beedrill champion last season forfeits to the fucking Toad. That is the worst thing I've seen all day, and this might be the worst play of the season. Week 1. But anyway, let's try and forget about that. Let's go on to some good plays. So I'm going to go back to the other replay it. I'll go back to the other scene. Let's go. So here, and the third best play of the week has to go to IA's Melodic, just in general. Yeah, let me show you why. So he takes his Encore, makes sure Zygarde can't do anything stupid with it. So, and now this Melodic just beats through his entire team with his Flame Orb, so it gets extra defense. So it just blasts through this team here. I'm just going to keep skipping turns. Recovering, surfing, recovering and surfing, and recovering and surfing. Believe it or not, he is recovering and surfing. Both. So Rob does all he can, but I'm not sure how much special defense this Vileplume had on it, but that crit did not matter if it was Fizdef. And judging by the team, I think it might have been SDef, but I'm not positive on that. But the fact that IA just has this great Melodic set that just beats down Rob one by one at this last bit of the game in a tight spot is really, really good for him. And this, even the Flame Orb comes in clutch right there with that extra defense boost on this Zygarde. So yes, that's why I call this Melodic, just in general, this play of the week for IA. Just for its ability to just beat down Rob like that. Just crush all his hopes and dreams and make him cry. It was really unfortunate if that crit on Vileplume mattered, but that is the game. So that is the third best play of the week. And now the second best play of the week comes from Greg versus North. So the situation here is that I believe that Necrozma just got sacked after firing off a Big Z move onto the Decidueye. And now here, the Alomomola is toxic and the Licky Licky is toxic. That is a really bad spot. Luckily for Greg, he fires up his Mega Gardevoir and goes for the Heal Bell. And just a moment here. So Heal Bell Mega Gardevoir is just huge for this team. It keeps him free. I think he is Alomomola. He has the Licky Licky, and they are free to just be a little bit riskier. They're not too afraid of being toxic if you can keep Gardevoir alive. So I think that was super important for him to be able to have that reliable Heal Bell. Like, if he had on Licky Licky, that would have gotten outsped, but Gardevoir does not get outsped as much. So having this just lets him win against North ultimately, who doesn't have a cleric like that on it. He didn't have like a cleric like that. So this Dragonite just went down really slowly. The Porygon 2 later on got burned. And you can see here he just lets himself get hurt. So just free stuff for Greg, just letting him do that. So I think that was really, really good to have that on his team. But yeah, perfect game here. Perfect little bring there. I like that a lot. But that does not contend with the best play of the week, in my opinion, which comes in another scene again here. It comes from John W. versus Dilwar. So, as you can guess, judging by the fact that I've had everyone's play from this perspective, I think the best play this week was John W.'s just great execution of manipulating this weather here. So, he's been manipulating this weather war with Dilwar the entire game, and he just took down the Quagsire with an Energy Ball, so he's at 28%. He was able to go to Torkoal, live this Earthquake hit easily, keep it alive, go to Garchomp, sack that off, and he still has his upper hand with weather, because now Dilwar has to pick a sack, and he goes for Gigalith, last sand up, and so now, with all that, with the sand and the Life Orb, all John W has to do is go back to Torkoal, set that sun up again, and now win. So this is a 0-2 victory for John W. But the fact that he was able to manipulate that sun just so well the entire game really, really is good for him. Like that energy ball, those kills, Coco comes in and it just drops. So that was really good work on John W's part. Getting Victory Bill some much needed love. Even if you've been overhyping it, it is still a really good mon. So that was great, great replay, great play there at the end. So I really appreciate a good end game, and that was a spectacular end game on both sides, really. Like it was a 0-0. But yes, I got to give that to John W there. First spot in the week 1 Mega Beedrill top plays of the week. My name is Mio. Peace.